next speaker is somebody you all know very well, Dave, who's going to talk about social media. So is this a follow-on, Dave, in respect to CPHVA?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, ladies, thank you. Over to you, Dave.
Okay. No worries. That's all right. Right. Obviously, really packed day today, and it's been unbelievably sort of heavy on lots of information coming out at you today. And I just wanted to spend a few minutes just talking about some of the ways that we can maybe help with after today sort of getting the information. And the way that we sort of looked at this with social media in the Uniting Health and UniteCPHVA. Obviously, you've had the story about all the bad things and all the worrisome things about things like Facebook and Twitter. And I want to sort of talk about some of the positive things that hopefully you'll be able to get from it. As Elizabeth said, I'm Dave Munday. I'm one of the professional officers that leads health visiting in Unite. But also do a lot of other work around other subjects. Now, some of the sort of headline websites that we'd like you to be aware of for CPHVA members is the Facebook and Twitter sites that we have. So Facebook, if you just go into Facebook and search for CPHVA, you find us. Actually, if you don't want to be on Facebook, you can still look. You can still look into people who haven't protected their identity, and we have not protected our identity on Facebook. You are more than welcome to look at it. If you look on there, you actually get lots and lots of information about things that are not only happening in CPHVA, but in the wider healthcare world, because we like to put stuff on there. So, for example, some of the stuff around Public Health England, bringing out, different initiatives, all that kind of stuff. If we see it, we think you might be interested, we throw it on there. In terms of Twitter, again, if you don't want to be a member, you can still go and spy on us. That's not a problem. So all you have to do is go to twitter.com/unite_CPHVA. And again, all this info will be sent out to you. And you can see actually a history of all the tweets that we've made. Now, I'm just going to show you some of the ones that we've had from today. You might not be able to see that, but I've actually found that Peter was saying a few porkies possibly before, because I actually tracked. Yeah, I tracked down his online presence to Peter Bauer 28, where he was tweeting about his activity as a consultant.
I'm going to wait for this before I rush off.
No, that's it. Really, go. But also, what I've been doing during today is the bits that I've heard that I thought, wow, that's really interesting, which obviously everything was. I've been putting it on Twitter, but I've also been trying to put links on there that are helpful for you. So again, you can sort of see where the benefit will come. So in terms of the last tweet I made, I put on there got Peter speaking about social media and the professional from the Safer Internet Centre. I've put the link on there to the Safer Internet Centre website, so you can go on and see all the stuff that he said today. The Communication Trust outside have been tweeting today about being here, about having the opportunity to give you information about communication. Just to go a bit further back, whilst Helen Bedford was speaking, again, sort of going on NHS Choice's website, looking at some of the guidance around immunisations and putting that on there, putting information about the rotavirus. So, collecting stuff together. We've also got a few pictures. I've got to remember where that one is. One of the food, because I always like a good food picture. And also a picture from the back of everyone sort of enjoying the day today. So, all that information is on there. Now, what's great is obviously our members that are here today, you've had a great conference. You've learnt lots and lots and lots, and your head's fit to bursting, I'm sure. But for all those tens of thousands of our members that haven't been here today, actually, if we hadn't had this opportunity, none of them would have been touched by this information today. Whereas now, about 800 of our members follow us on Twitter at the moment. So 800 people can see what happened here today. Facebook, we've got about 650 followers. But actually, if every one of those 650 followers liked one of our posts, they know 125,000 people. So that information spreads at a huge alarming rate. And again, one of the things that people have sort of spoke about in the past that they don't like is, who talks about health visiting? How do you get information about what health visitors do? Well, actually, there's this huge opportunity to get that information out to people that, want to look at it. So that's sort of just a few brief examples. Just jumping back into the presentation now. Another thing that we've been doing over the last year is something called Uniting Health Thinking Thursday. If you're our members, then you've got emails about this, if we've got your email address. But it might be that you got an email and thought, oh, that mustn't be for me, delete it and move on to the next thing. But actually, Thinking Thursday has been a really, really good initiative where what we've been doing is online training, where all you need is a phone. And I'm guessing most of you will have an access to phone at work and definitely at home. And what that is where we're doing online training. So an example of some of the sessions that we have got coming up, we've got 2 booked in at the moment. This week, Ros Godson, who's one of the professional officers that leads on safeguarding, she's going to be doing a session about the responsibilities of healthcare professionals towards vulnerable adults and children. So that's this Thursday. And then in a week or so's time, we've got Rachel Maskell, our head of health, and Kate Ultram, who is an organiser in the health department. They're going to be doing sessions on best practice around appraisals and the issues with performance-related pay. Really, really important subjects that are really, really helpful. And like I said, instead of having to come to a conference, take the time off work, worry about all that kind of thing, you can just sit behind your desk, listen to it, half an hour, done. Brilliant. Now, you could say, well, actually, 3:30 on a Thursday, I'm doing a really important clinic or I've got a safeguarding meeting, so that's no good to me. But in the technological world that we live in, we actually also record all the sessions that we do, and they're also available to watch on the website. So if you're one of our members, you can access the Think Again website. And what that does is collect all the sessions that we've already done. So we've already done, I think, 16 sessions so far. So if you look there, you can see that we've got the session. There's a really good example further down. The new agreement for mileage allowances in the NHS. 270 of our members phoned in and listened to this session. So, hundreds of people are watching this. It was a session on all the new changes to the NHS mileage allowance. The person that did it was a national expert, Barry Brown, one of our national officers. But after the event, we record it, so you can actually go online today and watch that session any time of the day, 2 o'clock in the morning, bit bored, want something to do. You can go online and watch this session. And like I say, it's not just on mileage, it's across a huge range of subjects. I'm just going to go really, really briefly through some of them. We started the first one around school nursing, maximising the contribution of school nursing team. We did the health visitor implementation plan, I did that one. We did one on practice teachers, mentors and where next for Skiffin students. That was a really, really popular one. Ros did a follow-up on safeguarding at the time when the policies were being reviewed by government. We had one about the Health and Social Care Act and the new organisations that were changing. We had one from our Mental Health Nursing Association members around the value of older people CPNs. I did a follow-up one around health visiting where we're up to 150 years after the creation, and that talked about a lot of the history of health visiting. Jane Beach did a session, over a half-hour session on record keeping. Agenda for change around downbanding, organising in the workplace so you're effectively represented, transitions away from the NHS, writing for publication. That was a session done by our editor at the Community Practitioner Journal. So you can see a huge breadth of information that is there that hopefully is really, really interesting, and hope you'll think we're doing a pretty good job on this stuff. Now, like I say, you've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, and also our websites. And most of these things are also linked onto from our website. So you've got unitetheunion.org/health. That talks about a lot of the campaigns that we're doing nationally, about the destruction of the NHS, its fragmentation and its tearing apart. But then to finish, what I wanted to do was we're actually starting a new initiative on the 23rd of July 2013. And for some of you, it's not for you. You're not on Twitter. It's not something you want to be interested in. But we're actually going to start CPHVA Twitter Tuesday. The first one's going to be on the 23rd of July. We're going to be doing it monthly. And it's where we're going to be collecting together as many members and as many sort of friends that we've got online just to talk about the issue of that day on that space for an hour. Now, the first session, I'm hoping to do it on Student 101. And what I mean by that is we've got lots of health visitor students now coming into the profession. And I've been talking to lots of them. I've been doing a lot of regional road shows and going out to meet with students. And they've got such a lot of questions to ask. And obviously, I know some of the answers, but I don't know them all. So it's about how do we collect together that weight of clever knowledge that lots of our members have, share it, sort of swirl it round, and then at the end of it, hopefully throw it out and have a good result. One of the things that I said before about our Twitter was that for today, all that information, I've done lots and lots of tweeting. One of the things that I'm going to do is, trying to think what it's called now. There's a program where you can actually put all those tweets together and send out one single link where you can look at all the tweets in order and find the whole discussion from today. So I'll also be doing that from today, and that'll come out to you in the information following today. And you can actually go back, look at all the different things that I found interesting during the day. Click through to all those links that take you to the website where it has extra information. So like I said before about that specific advice on rotavirus, stuff like that, that will all be there. So hopefully, even if you're an absolute newbie to Twitter, you can click on one link and just see what it says and see if it's something that's interesting. Obviously, please do stay in touch with us. Lots and lots of ways to do it. But the other thing, obviously, is as our members get Community Practitioner Journal every month through the post, what an absolutely brilliant resource that is. No other organisation out there that represents health visitors sends out a journal on a monthly basis to its members. So absolutely read it, even if it's just looking at the first few news pages, because everything that we're doing is in there and there's a lot of it. So have a look. Okay, I hope that was interesting. Hope it was useful, and information will flow.
Thank you very much. So I think that's clarified all the resources available. Now, we're on time. I was determined that we were going to not be late in terms of finishing the conference. And as I said, the tea is there at the end for those of you who are gasping for a drink. So it gives me a reminder about the evaluations, please. These should be virtually complete now, hopefully. We'll just spend a minute outside to do that and give them in. Could I welcome Obi Amadi, Lead Professional Officer for Unite and CPHVA. Obi's going to give us the closing summary. Thank you very much, Obi.
Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth. Well, to all of our colleagues that are still here today, and I think, can you hear me? Yeah. And I mean, I hope for the colleagues that have had to leave early to get trains and be somewhere. For everybody, I'd like to say thank you for all being here today, of having the interest and being determined to get here, because it's not always easy to get time away from work. I mean, we do appreciate that. Apologies about the few little hiccups that we've had, but I mean, I think that the content and the participation we've had kind of overrides all of that. I hope that you're all pleased with the content. In terms of the day, it was designed to be an update, a snapshot, a fast-paced track through the different subject areas. It wasn't a slow, languishing, soak up in a slow, sponge-like way information. So, I mean, because we think that you've got some of the basics already, so we don't need to take you through everything. So I hope that that worked, and I hope that you realise that and you appreciated it and you maximised on that. I think that in terms of the content we had, Jane at the beginning, giving people some food for thought about the ways that they work in the France's context. Joanne talking about some issues for people to reflect on in practice. Naledi and Joanne and their clients gave a flavour of some of the work they're doing, and you got some first-hand feedback from their clients. Avis and her information about things that you need to know, the challenges that you may now have in practice that you need to think about with the new policy context. The workshops this afternoon from Ruth and also from Lisa talking about communication and sleep. Again, I hope that there were new bits of information that you've gleaned from that, because the importance of today is so that you've got new tools, new thoughts and ideas to take into practice with you tomorrow. Rosemary, again, I mean, in terms of, the information that we got around breastfeeding and the fact that we're going to get access to those resources, I mean, I think that's really brilliant, and we appreciate that too. Peter's presentation, what can I say? I'm going home to look at my stuff. Really. And Dave, I mean, what a champion, giving us again a whole kind of like list of the resources that you can get, because I mean, in terms of our team, and I hope that you get it from our team, that we are really passionate about what we do and how we want to try and give you tools and information to help you in your work and in all aspects of your work. And just from the information that Dave's given, I mean, that will give you a flavour of what you can get access to. But I mean, we've got that information already available. We've got these study days that we are going to continue and we're going to do more of. We hope you like them. But also we need to hear from you. And whether it's because of the concerns that you have from things that you've heard today on, the problems you want help with, or the solutions that you think you want to suggest for us to take on board, be in touch. If you've got ideas, if you've got requests, if there's something we're not doing that you want us to do, get in touch. I mean, we've got a team, and as I say, our role is to support you in your practice. That's part of the role of the professional body, the professional strand that we have. So again, I'll stop talking because I don't want anybody to be late and you've still got coffee, and I hope you've all done your evaluation forms. We've not really been plugging the evaluation bit, have we? But anyway, again, as I say before, and I like to say again, thank you to everybody for coming. Thank you to Elizabeth for chairing so well. And I wish you all a safe journeys home, and we'll see you next time.
Your certificate of attendance, Ethel? Certificate of attendance is... They're all... Oh, you've got them already. Okay, safe journey home, everybody. Bye.